Hey, whoever's watching this, so I decided to film a sketchbook tour because why the heck not? Got no one else to talk to, so why not my phone hanging from some headphones tied up by ponytail holders? So I started this sketchbook about March of last year. So it's a watercolor Hansen, basic, you get them at Michael's all the time. And it's really interesting, I think. Which, interesting can be bad or good. So this is my first piece. I remember being so upset about the cloudy background because I was like, oh, cool, the person turned out really good. Then I went in and I was like, oh, no. Yeah, so this is like from March of last year. And then after that, I decided to do some practice. I don't actually have any watercolor skills. Yeah. So I was like, oh, so I watched some YouTube videos on how to do it. Turned out fabulous, right? True watercolor master. And then I also decided to thumbnail for once. Sorry about that. My mom walked back in and asked for my phone charger. And I had to stop because, once she would definitely think I was crazy. Definitely. Okay. On to the next. This is like an uncompleted thing, obviously, and it was a character of mine that I was writing for a story. Her name's Harley. She's blonde. Has blue eyes. Yep. Great. And then, oh yeah. This, I watched a video on Van Gogh's study of red and green and how it can get a bit of an unsettling effect. So I decided to try my own abstract art. What's so great. And then this is around AP test time last year, and all my stuff was just thrown across the kitchen table, and I was like, I'm going to try painting a still life of it. I got the wall done, My sketchbook isn't the best. And then this is another character of mine, and yeah, that's just it. This one I did kind of recently. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think it shows a good understanding of depth that I was able to do with watercolor. This, I did while I had a migraine. Drawing while I had a migraine. Have migraines? Not a good combination. Really not. Oh yeah, I'm going to skip over this. This is my attempt to do landscape studies, as you'll see later on. I kind of hate doing them a lot, especially in watercolor, but I thought it would be important to practice. So yeah, there's that. This is a newer one. I did it in December, as you can see, and it's using only red, green, and black. So I mixed the red and green together to get the brown, and yeah, it was another study in complementary colors. And then this was supposed to be the purple and yellow one. Didn't go super well because I didn't spend as much time. I used flatter colors, just like a simple wash, I think. And then this one's newer, May 8th, obviously, and I just was going through my palette and looking and using the colors next to each other. That way it's kind of figured out already, what color schemes work and which don't. So that's just me trying that. This was a sketch that I did that was supposed to watercolor but never did. And it was for a white elephant gift exchange, and it's one of my friends as an elephant. Here's another landscape. This one went slightly better. Still not a fan, but at least I kind of figured out how water works, with watercolors, how you can do it, how you leave white spaces and can use darker for ripples. I also did it while watching The Bachelor. Fun fact. here's kind of like, this sketchbook is basically in two sections, like March, spring of last year and spring of this year, which is why there's such like a big difference in it. So this is just a self-portrait, and I kind of really like the way it turned out, so much so that I was scared to continue it. So yeah, it's just stuck at a face now. I don't really look like that, but I think the coloring and like the texture is pretty cool. And here's another self-portrait. I really like the way this one turned out. And like, I also kind of did this while I had a migraine, but since I'm on medicine now, it's like more controlled, so I was actually able to paint. And once again, I really like the way the colors came out, and like, I kind of did the clear blue of the eyes, because whenever I have migraine, like, they become really unfocused and like you can kind of tell. So yeah, I would call this one like the migraine eyes piece. And here's another color study one where I used the same colors, I think, and these three are right next to each other in the like the palette of my watercolors. And I named it the world's worst still life, even though I actually really like it, because I think the colors really add a bit of character to it, even though it's definitely not good at all, but like, I still think there's a charm to it. Okay. This one, as you can see here, I put whoops because I messed up on the hair. So I was sitting at my desk for like 3 hours straight working on the blue part. And yeah, if you need a break, take a break. Because if you just keep going, it doesn't always turn out well. So yeah, this is basically a jet stream that hit the week of the 8th. I mean, a cold front that hit the week of the 8th, and basically it looked like this. And the reason that I drew it is kind of because like the new like dips in the jet stream are kind of like, the increase of them is kind of due to climate change and the weakening of like the warm cool gradient of the earth. So yeah, that was kind of something that was really stood out to me on the Weather Channel and kind of terrified me. And this is a abstract art. It started out as something completely different, like so different, but then I just kept going, kept playing with watercolors, and it slowly morphed into this. And there's more of a story behind it why I think it turned out this way, but it's kind of personal, so I'm not going to go into it. Here's another abstract art. I really like just putting down like watercolor and letting it be, because that's like one of the cool things about it. You don't have complete control over it, and you kind of just let it go as it is, and you like just control it as much as you can and make things out of what is there. Yeah, this is a landscape painting. Yeah, not good at them at all, especially in watercolor. Sorry for the flipping off of a hand. My bad. And then this is just another, I was really angry after the failed landscapes. I literally just like jabbed down like red paint, and then I made shapes out of it. And there's like, I started with like this little boy, and then I saw like kind of angry woman who could have been like his mom reaching for something. And then I kind of saw like an army man over here. And then I put Peter Pan because for some reason like the boy reminded me of Peter Pan. So yeah. Well, this, for some reason I decided to do this on the back. This is an older piece, and it's like, it's about like the 1960s or 70s when like everyone was kind of in these acid trips and like everything, and they're all focused on like they're just dancing away, having a good time, when like the cities around them were kind of like burning and like getting destroyed due to like the white flight and all that, and the like loss of money into them. So yeah, that's kind of a piece about that. Didn't turn out great at all, but that happens. So yeah, that's my sketchbook. Thanks for watching. I also forgot that I have these things, like drawings that were also in the watercolor sketchbook, I think. I don't know. Could not have been. And these were done in March last year. And this is also another character of mine. It was Prince. Yeah. And then I really liked the way it turned out, so I decided to try it again. I did it 4 times actually, but I only have 3 with me right now. This is another one. This one is probably my favorite. And yeah, it was just a photo off Pinterest that I really liked, and I decided I was going to watercolor it. And then here's the last one I got with me. Just another photo off Pinterest, you know.